Alright guys, as I promised you, we have a troll deck. And what I mean by troll deck is not necessarily what you're trying to do is piss off your opponent, but people get mad when they lose to alternate win conditions, and by that I mean, Chain Burn, Exodia, decks like this. They get mad when they lose to it because it's not standard, they're not ready for it, and most of the time the deck that the people are playing requires little to no skill. I think this deck, to play it properly, does require skill. And I do want to say that I ordered a few cards for this, so this is not my final draft. I am just going to be kind of previewing this to you. I'll give you updates when those cards come in and maybe show a duel using the deck, even though it won't be fun to watch. But if I get enough requests, I'll go ahead and do it anyway. It is Final Countdown. What Final Countdown is, it's a spell card. You play it, pay 2,000 life points, and in 20 turns, you win the match if you're still alive. So you play it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way to 20, you win. So basically what you're doing is you're stalling and buying yourself time. What you need to understand is that you do need to build a proper side deck for this because people are going to build Naturia Beasts, Naturia Barkions, Jazeris, War Chariots. Those tier 2 decks have those monsters available are going to be a real pain for you. So you need to be able to side into lava golems and things to stop them because this deck will lose to those cards. You can still win if they get those cards out. It's just going to be a lot harder. So without further ado, let's do the deck. 3 Mystic Piper. We don't really require a huge monster field presence to make the deck work. We have enough back row to protect us for a turn. So pretty much what this is just to speed through the deck, summon it, sack it, draw 1 card. If it's a level 1, we can draw another one. We want to get Final Countdown as soon as possible, so we have a bunch of ways to get it quickly. This is not stall, this is just to speed through the deck. Next is 3 Swift Scarecrow. It works like a Battle Fader, but instead of special summoning it to the field, you just start it to the graveyard, which is actually really good because that means it can't be hit by a warning or something like that. So, ends the battle phase, negates the attack, buys us a turn. And essentially, when you're buying us a turn, it's buying 2 turns because, my turn's turn 1, their turn's turn 2. I stop them on turn 2, and it comes back to me turn 3. You see what I'm talking about? Each player's turn counts as 1, so you just have to get to 20. So these are great cards for the deck, and definitely a stable at 3. Same thing with Battle Fader. With Battle Fader, you do have to be careful if they're sitting on a warning or something like that. Don't put all your eggs in the Battle Fader basket, if you will, because if they fader you and then you have no other protection next turn, they could come around and OTK you. So be careful with Fader. It is great, and you do need your own 3, but definitely with an asterisk next to it. Next is 3-0 Gardena. You can activate this effect on either person's turn, you can tribute it, and you pretty much take no battle damage. So their turn comes around, they're going to attack. You just tribute it, take no battle damage. That just buys us another turn. And the new guy, Battalion the Time Lord. If I control no monsters, I can normal summon this. Can't be destroyed by battle and takes no battle damage. If he attacks or was attacked at the end of that battle phase, the opponent's monster gets bounced back to the hand, and they take 300 for each monster bounce back that way. It bounces all monsters. So if they have a full field, I normal summon this guy, and I attack, I bounce away everything. I just kind of sent that other one flying. I bounce away everything. And then this guy goes back to my deck, shuffled. So he never gets put in the graveyard unless he's warninged or something like that. I'm running 2 right now. I did order a 3rd. I'm going to try 3. I think 2 is the magic number, but like I said, I do want to try 3. Pretty cool card. Perfect for the deck. Next is the namesake Final Countdown. Pay 2,000, 20 turns, you win. Pot of Duality, because we do want those Final Countdowns as soon as possible. This is going to help us achieve that. 1 Day of Peace, a perfect card for the deck. You not only get to speed through your deck, but the next turn your opponent can't do any damage to you. These are the cards that are going to push Final Countdown into more open play. 1 Day of Peace, Battalion. These cards are helping the deck out. 3 Upstarts. Obviously, we don't care about their life points. In the case of another trap card that I don't actually have right now, it's called Frozen Soul. If they have 2,000 or more life points than you, they skip their battle phase. And I did order Frozen Souls, so if you're wondering where those are, they're on order. I'm going to test them out. As of right now, I don't have any. So, 3 Gold Sarks. Like I said, as soon as possible, we need that fucking Final Countdown. We're going to start with it in our first couple turns, no matter what. With the amount of draw power, I don't think I've ever started a game and gone like 4 or 5 turns in without getting Final Countdown somewhere, shape, or form. And that's what you really need to make this deck work. Next are 2 cards that I hate, and they're just stand-ins right now. Swords of Revealing Light. they're going to be taken out pretty quick, but it's just a classic stall card. 3 Waboku, chainable, wonderful card, protects you for a turn. Thunder of Ruler, you play it during their standby phase, they can't declare their battle phase. And 3 Threatening Roar, much like Waboku, chainable, and buys you a turn. Now, there are other cards that you can play in here. You can play Messenger of Peace, you can play Marshmallow, Spirit Reapers, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? I think what I am going to do is I may main 1 Marshmallow, and I may side into a couple Spirit Reapers. I don't want to rely on a card that can be destroyed just by being targeted, kind of like that. And again, what you need to understand is that your opponent, you're not going to be able to hinder what they're going to do. So you need to have a way to beat their win condition. Because if a Gladiator Beast player gets to Jazeris with a Chariot support, you're probably going to lose. So you may win that game 1, you may lose that game 1, but in game 2 you better have lava golems, you better have ways to get that monster off the field, or else you're going to lose. And that's just the way it is. Other cards, Frozen Soul. Like I said, if your life points I think are 2,000 less than your opponent's, you make your opponent skip their next battle phase. Messenger of Peace, just like other cards like that. You do see people build this deck really stupidly. They don't do it properly. I think what you need to do is get to your final countdown as quick as possible and then have just a bunch of stall, and you need to win in those first 20 turns. If it goes to 30, 40 turns for whatever reason, you're probably going to run out of outs and you're probably going to lose. Cards like Light and Darkness Dragon are another card that really messes with the deck because it's going to make you waste your resources to be able to win. It's really rough because then you waste your resources and they attack maybe into your Metallion, it goes back to their hand and they drop it again. This happened today, so that's the only reason I know. Other cards that really mess with the deck, Deck Devastation Virus, Royal Tribute, things that can really affect a game without actually attacking, if that makes sense, are going to be a pain. Naturia Beast and Barkian obviously are going to shut down a big portion of your deck, so you do need to side into proper cards. I don't have my side deck built, otherwise I'd show it to you. I do have an idea, and maybe when I get the rest of the cards and I make maybe another profile or a dual video, I'll show you guys. The deck is good. And it can be very consistent if you build it properly. I'm still trying to find that proper balance. Again, I'm getting rid of these 2. It can just be MST'd away. It can buy you 3 turns, but it could also buy you none type thing, because they're going to be saving up those MSTs just for you. So you got to be ready. You have to plan ahead. If your initial out is dealt with, you have to be able to have another one. Otherwise, they're going to be able to swing for game real quick, because you're paying 2,000 for Final Countdown. So you're already working with a 6,000 life pool. So just be careful with the deck. Build it if you're brave. If you have these cards, they're not hard to pick up. Most expensive card is Mystic Piper. It's hanging around 10 because Piper Chaos made a showing at the last YCS. I think it made it top 32 or almost made it to day 2. I know that much. And then everything else is pretty cheap. Metallion hovering around $10, and everything else is super cheap. You probably already have dualities, so I won't even mention those. But like I said, One Day of Peace, Metallion made this deck a little bit more consistent and made it to something I wanted to try. So hopefully I'll get some videos with the deck. Until then, guys, have a good one.